Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Clemens, and I want to welcome you to Mastermind Authors College. Today, we're going to have a presentation on the topic how to write book titles and synopsis. How to write book titles and synopsis. I'm aware that there are a lot of intending authors who do not know how best to title their books and how to write a synopsis for those books. And that is why today I will be teaching on how you could best get an idea, a book title idea, how to title your book, and how to write a synopsis for your book. So, I'm sure you know that the title of your book is as important as the contents of your book. Most people write books, and at the end of the book, they are wondering, what title should I give to this book? Or what title should I give to that book? So the question we need to ask ourselves is, do I get a book title before I start writing, or I get a book title after I finish writing the book? Well, that seems like a very funny question, but it is true that most times when people um, finish writing their books, they are tempted to change the name, the original title that they intended for the book. So don't be surprised when you hear me say, should we get a title at the beginning before writing, or the title at the end of the book? So I'm going to teach you today that the normal thing to do is to first have a title for your book. The reason is that if you do not have a title for your book, then what are you writing about? The content of your book is supposed to reflect the title of your book, or the title of your book is supposed to, reflect the content of your book. So if you do not have a title, why should you have a content? What are you writing about exactly? So that is why it is important that you learn how to, conceive book titles before you write. Because when you have a title for your book, it will help you write, a better book, because you already have something that you have a topic already that you're writing on. But if you do not have a title, well, I wonder what you will be writing about. However, sometimes when you finish writing, you already had a title at the beginning, and then by the time you finish writing, you realize that the initial title you had did not actually capture, what you have written in the book. So you might want to adjust the title, but in such cases, the new title would not be something far different from the original title that you had in mind. So why should I be talking, or why should I be concerned about the title of your book? And why should you be concerned about the title of your book? Because the title of your book is everything. It determines whether people are going to buy your book, or your book will just remain on the shelf. So the title is as important as the book itself. Now I'm going to share a little story with you to show you how important, you know, um, it is for you to get the right title for your book. Some people would say, okay, what is in a book title? Isn't it just a title? What is in a book title? Well, everything is in a book title. Everything, absolutely everything is in a book title. Like I said, it is a title that would determine whether your book will be a bestseller, or nobody would, be attracted to that book. So let's get started. In 1982, I'm going to share a story with you. In 1982, Nora Hardin released a book called Astrological Love. What happened to the book? It flopped. It failed big time, you know. And then when she realized that the book had flopped and she couldn't get as much sales as she, expected, what did she do? She took the same book, changed a small amount of the content, and then changed the original title to a different title. Now, this was a book that was published already. She had to change the name of the book, the title of the book, and gave it a new title: How to Satisfy a Woman Every Time and Have Her Beg for More. How to Satisfy a Woman Every Time and Have Her Beg for More. Now, if you saw a book titled Astrological Love, and then you saw another book titled How to Satisfy a Woman Every Time and Have Her Beg for More, which of these books would attract you? Which one would you want to buy? Well, I believe your guess is as good as mine. You, I believe, would be attracted to the book that is titled How to Satisfy a Woman Every Time and Have Her Beg for More. So when I see a book titled Astrological Love, I don't know exactly what it means. I don't know if it's a book for me or if it's a book for someone else. But when I see the book How to Satisfy a Woman, man, everybody wants to buy such a book. Every man wants to buy such a book. And so what happened to this new book, or this same book with a new title? It became a #1 bestseller. The same book, almost exactly the same contents, but with a different title. A book that once flopped became a #1 bestseller. Why? Because of the title. So what does that mean? It means that the title of your book is so important that it is what determines whether or not your book is going to sell or whether it will flop like Astrological Love did. So, Astrological Love, how to satisfy a woman every time and make her beg for more. Now, I think that this was a very intelligent move, to change the name of the book from Astrological Love to How to Satisfy a Woman Every Time. So I'm going to show you in this lecture today that when you get the right title for your book, it would attract people and people would want to read that book, because your book title, like I said before, is everything. If you fail or if you make the mistake that Nora Hardin made initially when she first titled the book Astrological Love, you might have almost the same result as she had. Your book might flop and nobody would buy such a book. But if you are able to come up with a good title, at least you are more certain that that book would sell. So let's go ahead. I believe that you have heard people say, don't judge a book by its cover. Now, that is a very popular saying. Don't judge a book by its cover. And of course, you know that the book cover contains the book title. So if they say don't judge a book by its cover, they are invariably saying don't judge a book by its title. But you know what? The story that I just told you about now is a proof that maybe you need to judge a book by its cover. you need to judge a book by its cover. And here you see another picture that says, judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a book by its cover. Well, that might be true, but if you want to sell your book, you have to have a title that would have an attractive cover that will make people want to get your book. So judge a book by its cover. Now let's go ahead. So what makes a great book title? How do I, get a book title that I would be assured that this title would sell, or that this book would be a great book? Now, the first thing that you need to know about a book title is that if you want to have a great book title, make sure that it is short. Get a short book title. Don't get a book title that is a sentence, a very long sentence. That in itself would make people not want to, people would not be attracted to that book, because just trying to remember the name alone, is difficult. They are trying to remember a whole sentence. No, you don't have to write very, long sentences as your book titles. So try as much as possible to make the title of your book short. Maybe 3 words or 4 words maximum. 3 or 4 words maximum. Now, research has shown that books with such short titles most times become best-selling books. Now, however, there is an exception. There are books with, longer titles that became bestsellers. However, those books were written by already published authors, people who are already popular, who have made a name for themselves in the publishing industry. So they are famous already. And then when they use such names, people already know them. And so they would believe, or they believe, that the content is good. But if you are as a new author, as a fresh author, you go take a sentence, at the title of your book. I mean, nobody has the time to read all of that sentence. So it's better to keep it short. Keep it very short. 3 words or 4 words should be enough, for your book title. Now I'm going to show you some examples of book titles, and we would analyze to see if each of these books, meet the criteria. So a book title has to be short. Okay. There's this book titled Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. A very, short title, Outlier, just 1 word, and the book became a bestseller. So there are books like that that are with short titles, and they became bestseller. However, like I said, Dale Carnegie wrote a book titled How to Win Friends and Influence People. A little bit long, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Not 1 word, not 2 words, not 3 words. How to Win Friends and Influence People, about 5 words. But that book still became a bestseller because he already has a name. He's already popular, in the publishing industry. So he's an author, and he's a famous guy. So by the time he wrote that book, people already knew him. And so it was not a problem for him to have such a title. But for you, I will advise that you get very short book titles that people can easily, remember. Now, the second thing you need to know about a great book title is that it should be easy to say. People should be able to, say the title of your book easily without stress. If your book title is too long, people would not be able to remember the title. Sometimes, you could even just ask some of your friends, unexpectedly, unscheduled, and just ask them, could you remember the title of my book? If they cannot remember the title of your book, or they cannot even say the title of your book, it shows that a lot of people would easily forget your book. So it is better to have a book title that is easy to say. And besides being easy to say, it should be easy to remember also. Now, I told you about the book now, Outliers, right? Just one word, very short and easy to say. There's another book titled Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's very easy to say and easy to remember also. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But imagine that you have a book that is titled, yeah, I have a few books here. Let me show you this book. Let's look at these two books. The first book says, Surviving the Sahara Desert and Crossing the Mediterranean Sea. So you see that this is a sentence, surviving the Sahara Desert and crossing the Mediterranean Sea, or a very long phrase, you maybe you want to say that. But if I asked you tomorrow, what is the title of this book, you might not be able to say it. Number one, the title is too long, Surviving the Sahara Desert and Crossing the Mediterranean Sea. It's a whole sentence and it is not easy to say. So you will forget it. You will easily forget such a book. Now, this author, I believe, is a new author. It was the first book he published. Now, like I said, if you are not a very famous author like Carnegie, don't use very long book titles. Just keep it brief so that people can easily remember the book title and they can easily say it and they can easily read it. Okay? So I told you about How to Win Friends and Influence People by Carnegie. Of course, it's a bit long, but he's a very popular author, so he could do that. But for you, don't get such long titles. Now let's go back. What else do I need to know about my book title? My book title should not be self-centered. Your book title should not be self-centered. People who buy non-fiction books are looking for solution to their problems, or they want to learn some new skills. They want to know, how to manage their finances, how to manage their time, how to develop some virtues. So they don't want to read a book about you. They are not interested in you, in your story. They are interested in what they can get from your book. So when they read your book title and your book title is all about you, it's self-centered, it gives them the impression that this book is not about them. The book is not, for them. It is a book that is going to talk about your life and, maybe whatever you achieved and all of that. But when you have book titles that suggest to, your prospective readers that you are talking to them or you are talking about them, such books would sell. People want to read, such book. For example, the book was called How to Win Friends and Influence People. The author was not talking about himself. He was talking to, the world, how to win friends. Oh, do you want to win friends and influence people? Why not? You would want to buy such a book when you see it, in the bookshelf. But if you see a book, for example, How I Survived the Sahara Desert and I Crossed the Mediterranean Sea, well, I don't think I want to buy such a book. Why? Because it's not about me. The book is not talking to me. The book is talking about the author and how the author survived the Sahara Desert and crossed the Mediterranean Sea. But that doesn't concern me. I'm not planning to, go cross the Sahara Desert. So when I see such a book, I would not be attracted to such a book. And I think you will not be attracted to such a book. And again, who is the target audience for a book like that? When your book is about you, it is difficult, for your audience to buy such books because they don't think that the book is for them. Okay, good. Now, if you want to write a great book title, make sure that you're writing a title that is not self-centered. Let your book title be other people centered, not self-centered, so that people will feel attracted and they feel a connection to your book and they want to get it. Okay, good. Now, the next thing that makes a great book title is that your book title should be easily searchable online. Now, what does it mean? Sometimes when you go search for a book on Google, for example, you don't get to see that book. But the guy published the book, the author published the book is there on Amazon, and on some other site. But when you type it, you don't find it. What does that mean? It means that the book is not easily searchable online. So how do you make your book easily searchable online? First of all, you want to make sure that you have a book title that someone else has not already used. Okay, because if you do that, if you use a book title that someone else has used already, what usually happens is that if that person is a more popular person than you, a more famous author than you, when people search on Google, they will find his books first. They will find his materials first, before yours. Yours would not be among maybe the first five, results that will pop up. So try as much as possible to make your book searchable online. Again, how do you make your book searchable online? When you want to publish your book, you are asked to write some keywords that could help people find your book when they search for your book online. So you must learn how to get the keywords for your book. If you write a book, for example, about how to cross the Sahara Desert, but then you chose a keyword that talks about how to make money or how to be financially prosperous as your keyword, you write financial prosperity as your keyword. When people want to search your book, they will not look for financial prosperity. They are going to search for Sahara Desert or Mediterranean Sea, and they will not find your book because you chose the wrong keywords. So I'm going to teach you, later on when we come to publishing aspect, how to get keywords for your book. So you want to make sure that you chose the right keywords for your book. Then sometimes you could have a domain name for your book. If you have a domain name for your book, it means you have a customized URL for your book so that when people, search for your book, they could easily find it online. Because if you write a book and people cannot find it online, you reduce your chance, of selling that book or of, being available for your readers to read. So try as much as possible to maybe get a URL for your book, a customized domain name for your book so that people can easily search it, or you use the right, keywords when you are publishing your book so that people can easily find your books online. Again, like I said before, do not use a book title that someone else has already used. Now, it is not against publishing rules, for example, to use a name that someone else has used before. You can actually do it. It is not an offense. It is not plagiarism. It is not, you won't have any problem with copyright. You won't have copyright issues if you use the same name. You can use the same name as long as the content of the book is different. For example, you could write a book titled How to Be a Bestseller. Another person could write the same book, How to Be a Bestseller, the same title. But as long as the content is different, it is not an offense. So you can actually use the same name. But why did I say that to have a great book title, you shouldn't use the same name? It is because when you use the same name and people go search for that book, they would most likely find the other book instead of your book. And when people come online, for example, they are looking for books, with specific titles. Somebody wants to learn about how to develop new skills, and then you wrote a book titled The Secret of Developing New Skills, for example, and someone else already wrote that. If I go online to search and I find the person's book first, I will buy that book and read it. And I wouldn't even want to read your own again because I already found the solution, to the problem or to what I was looking for. So it is best to have a unique title that no one else has used before. If you do that, I think your book will stand out. When I go on Amazon to search for your book, it will be easy to find. Okay, great. Now, the next thing that you want to know about a great book title is that your book title should be eye-catching. The book title should be eye-catching. You know, I just give you an example of Astrological Love that flopped and how to satisfy a woman every time. I mean, if you are a man, you don't need somebody to convince you to buy this book, How to Satisfy a Woman Every Time. Why? Because it is eye-catching, it is intriguing, it is inviting. When you hear the title, How to Satisfy a Woman Every Time, and have her beg for more, everybody would want to buy the book. I believe that as you're watching me now, if you are a guy, you might, even after this, watching this video, you might go and look for this book to buy because it is so attractive, so eye-catching, right? So make sure that your book title is eye-catching. It would attract people to that book. Okay, so let's go ahead. Again, let your book title be informative. It should be informative because people want to know, what am I buying? If you have a book title that does not reveal the theme or the topic sentence or the main idea of your book, people would not be attracted to that book, because if I want to buy a book, I want to know what the book is about. So if you write a book title, for example, Astrological Love that we saw, I know what love is. Maybe I know what astrological is, but I can't connect the both of them. So I don't know exactly what the book is about. I don't want to buy such a book. But when I see how to satisfy a woman, when I see how to satisfy a woman every time, I don't need anybody to explain the content of that book to me. I don't need anybody to convince me to buy the book, because the book is informative. I already know what the book is about. And that is the kind of book I've been looking for. So I want to buy it. So make sure that your book title is informative. Don't just write a title that is obscure and that people cannot, tell what the book is about. If you must write an obscure title, then you must have a subtitle. And I'm going to teach you about subtitles soon. So now, 8 characteristics, of a great book title. 1, short, easy to say, easy to remember, not self-centered, easily searchable online, not used by someone else, eye-catching, and informative. When you begin to write your book, have these 8, points at the back of your mind when you want to choose a title for your book. Okay, good. So I already told you, I already analyzed these 2 books. Now let's look at these books. The Alchemist, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Let's analyze. Are these titles, are they short? Are they easy to read? Are they easy to say? Are they easy to remember? Are they eye-catching? Are they informative? Are they searchable online? Are they used by someone else? So let's start with shortness. The Alchemist. This is a book that became a bestseller, 65 million copies sold. Just one word and a determiner. The Alchemist. Very short title. Now, if you read this book, it will be impossible for you to forget the title because it's very easy to remember, very short. The Alchemist, written by Paulo Coelho. So you can easily remember it. So it is short, you can easily remember it, you can easily say it. The Alchemist. It's not difficult to say. So your book title should be like this: short, easy to say, easy to remember, and nobody else ever wrote a book before with such name. So not used by someone else. Easily searchable. So when you search it, you could easily find it because this is the only book about the alchemist. So you could see why this book became a bestseller. Now, beside the content of the book, which we will talk about later, the title alone makes you, want to buy the book. Now, I talked about an informative title. The Alchemist does not really tell you what the book is about if you don't know what the word alchemist means. But then we have a subtitle, a fable about following your dream. So, we have a subtitle, which I'm going to teach you how to get subtitles. You have a subtitle that explains, the content of the book. Okay. Now, the next one, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you have not read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I would encourage you to go get it. Even The Alchemist. These are very good books, and they are both best-selling books. So, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Is the title short? Yes, it is short. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I mean, you have a dad, and you know what it means to be rich and what it means to be poor. So you will easily remember the name. You can easily say it. It is short. You could search it on the internet and you will find it, because nobody ever wrote a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, before Robert Kiyosaki, wrote this one. So if you want to get your book title, try as much as possible. Make it short, easy to say, and easy to remember. Okay. Now look at these books. So here you find my book, Dreams Don't Die. People give up on them. So this, my book, the title is not that short. Dreams don't die. People give up on them. Now, what is wrong with this title? Is it short? No, it is not short. Most people might not remember the second part of the title, which says people give up on them. But if I had said dreams don't die, it is short. Everybody can remember it. People give up on them. You might not remember that part of the book. If I ask you, for example, what is the title of my book? Even if you've read it before, you might not remember the last part. You might only remember dreams don't die. So it is best to make it short. Okay, great. And then look at this other title. By the way, for my book, Dreams Don't Die, People Give Up on Them, it is not an obscure title. It is not short, but it is quite easy to say, but not easy to remember. It is informative because you already know what the book is about. Dreams don't die. People give up on them. And then there I have a subtitle that explains why you shouldn't give up on your dreams, and you will achieve them if you don't give up. Yeah, so it is not obscure. Now let's look at this. Eat that frog. Eat that frog. Now, if you saw a book titled Eat That Frog, do you want to buy such a book? What is the connection between, or the relationship between me and a frog? So this title is kind of obscured because it doesn't really explain what the book is about. I don't want to eat a frog. You don't want to eat a frog. But then that is why we have subtitles. So the subtitle will explain to you what the book is about. Okay, so every book has a subtitle, and Eat That Frog is an example of a book with an obscure title, but the subtitle explains what the book is about. 21 Great Ways to Stop Procrastinating and Get More Done in Less Time. So you see, title is short, Eat That Frog, but the subtitle explained, the title. Okay, but it is attractive, it is eye-catching, because when you see a book titled Eat That Frog, yeah, it is short, it is eye-catching, but it is kind of obscured. Although this book became, an international bestseller because the author, Brian Tracy, is a very popular author, highly famous author, so he could sell as much copies of the book because he's a famous person. But if you are a new author, you don't want to write an obscure book title. If you must do that, you must have a powerful subtitle to explain that title. Okay, good. Now, book title rules that you must not forget. When you are writing book titles, try as much as possible to capitalize only first letters. Do not write the entire book title in capital letter. When you do that, it seems like the book is it's kind of rude. You know, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of rude when everything is written in capital letter. Well, some people, some authors write that way, okay? But it is best to capitalize only the first letter of your book. Let's look at the books that we checked before. Now, if you look at Dreams Don't Die, people give up on them. You see, everything is in capital letter. But it would have been better if I just capitalized only the first letter. It's that frog, everything is capitalized also. But if you look at Rich Dad, Poor Dad, only first letters are capitalized. So try as much as possible to capitalize only the first letter. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It is the best thing to do. Okay. The Alchemist did not. The Alchemist also capitalized everything, but I think it is better. Okay, look at How to Win Friends and Influence People. You see that only first letters are capitalized. The H here is capital, W is capital, F is capital. Okay, A is small letter because this is a preposition. So I'm going to tell you that when you write prepositions, you don't need to capitalize them. Okay, good. So let's go ahead. So the first rule, capitalize only first letter. Second rule, don't capitalize a, and prepositions. Okay, so prepositions should not be capitalized. Articles like a and should not be capitalized. All other first letters should be capitalized. Then don't underline your book title, except if that book title is handwritten. But if you are going to print a book cover, you know, a typed cover, do not underline it. If you look at the books that we just saw now, none of them had an underlined title. It is not the best thing to do to underline the title of your book. Okay, and then you sometimes you could write in italics, right? You can italicize larger books and then use quotation marks for smaller books. Now, but what I mean by larger books, if the book is you know, a very big book and maybe a very popular title, you could use italics. And then if it's a smaller book, very small book, maybe 20 pages or 50 pages book, you could just use quotation marks, you know, while writing the title of the book. So now let's talk about subtitles briefly. Every book needs a subtitle. Every book needs a subtitle, except if the title is so informative that it doesn't need any explanation. So if you have a book title that is so informative and does not need further explanation, the readers could look at the book and tell what the book is about just from the title, then you don't need a subtitle, because a subtitle is actually an explanation of your book's title or an alternate name, an alternate title for your book. But if the book title is already self-explanatory, you might not need a subtitle. So a subtitle is a phrase that follows a book title to give it context. Context in the sense that if you had, you know, a title that is not self-explanatory, you need to use a subtitle to give us the context, you know, of the book. What is the book about? You want to inform us about what the book is about, so you need a subtitle. And remember that a subtitle does not necessarily have to be memorable. You don't need to memorize the subtitle. You don't even, have to remember it. I give you an example. There is a book that we saw, Eat That Frog. Now, if you see Eat That Frog, the subtitle is very long. 21 Great Ways to Stop Procrastinating and Get More Done in Less Time. You cannot remember that, okay? So you don't need to bother yourself about remembering subtitles. They're not important to be remembered. They are important because they explain the title of your book. They give context to the title of your book. They take away obscurity from the title of your book, but they shouldn't be remembered. So don't bother yourself. You can have a long subtitle. It is not bad. For if you look at my book, Dreams Don't Die, you will see that the subtitle is Success is Sure for Those Who Never Give Up. People don't have to remember it. They only have to see it, on the book cover and know what the book is about, okay? So you don't have to remember or memorize subtitles. Again, a subtitle just needs to explain the book. The function or the reason why you need a subtitle is that the subtitle needs to explain the book. It needs to tell the reader what the book is about. Now, let's look at the functions of a subtitle. A subtitle explains what the book is about. We already said it. It identifies your target audience, because sometimes you might write a book, you have a book title, it is obscured, and so the reader doesn't know if he or she should buy the book because he or she doesn't know the title, who the book is for, who are the audience, who is the audience for that book. Okay, so what should you do? You should have a subtitle that explains the title of the book, so that when readers see the book, they could decide if they are the right audience for that book or the book is meant for someone else. For example, I told you about the book, How to Satisfy a Woman, right? That book is self-explanatory. So even if there's no subtitle in that book, the target audience could easily identify themselves when they see the book. They know that this book, is for me. But for books like Outliers, it doesn't tell us, who the audience is. A book like, for example, Eat That Frog doesn't tell us who the audience is, except we read the subtitle. When we read the subtitle, we'll now see that, okay, this book is for people who want to stop procrastinating, because 21 Great Ways to Stop Procrastinating is the subtitle. So when you read that subtitle, you already know who the book is for. So your book subtitle should identify your target audience. Don't make the mistake of writing an obscure book title and an obscure subtitle. It will be counterproductive. Okay. Now, the next thing you need to know about the function of a subtitle is that the subtitle explains the how of your book title. So you have a book title, but people want to know the how. What is the how of the book title? If your book title says, for example, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So my subtitle should tell me how. How can I become a rich dad, or how do people become poor dads? Okay, so your subtitle should explain the how of your book. The first thing about the subtitle is that the subtitle makes your book unique and different. I told you before that two people could use the same book title, right? And it is not a crime, but the subtitle would differentiate that the contents of these books are different. For example, I have a book, Dreams Don't Die. Someone else has a book, Dreams Don't Die. So my subtitle would differentiate my book from that person's book. Okay, so your subtitle makes your book unique and different from similar book titles. Number 5, Your subtitle contains keywords. The keywords of your book. Remember, I told you that if you want your book to be searchable, easily searchable on the internet, you need to use keywords. Those keywords are usually found in your subtitles. So if your book is Outlier, for example, or your book is Rich Dad Poor Dad, people want to search your book. So your keyword should be in your subtitle. I'm going to give you, show you an example of such a book with a subtitle that could be used as a keyword. Now, let's take an example of this book, People First Culture. People First Culture. Now, this book is kind of an obscure, has an obscure title. I don't know what the author means by People First Culture, right? So I have a subtitle that says, Build a Lasting Company by Shifting Your Focus from Profit to People. So the subtitle now explains what the book is about. The book is saying that I should focus more on people instead of on profit. So if I'm going to get keywords for this book that people could easily search, now, building a lasting company by shifting your focus on profit to people. So profits could be, a keyword in that book. Profit or building a lasting company could be a search word for that book, or shifting your focus could be a search word, for that book. Now, look at this other book, Marketing to Mind States. Marketing to Mind States is a kind of obscured title because I don't know what it means. What does it mean, mind states? I know what marketing is, but marketing to mind states, I don't know what mind state is. So the subtitle now reveals the content of the book, the practical guide to applying behavior design to research and marketing. Practical guide to applying behavior design to research and marketing. So now I understand what the book is about. But if I want to write search word for this book, I have the word research in the subtitle. I have behavior. I have marketing. So this could help me, get search words. Good. Now, number 6 thing about the function of a subtitle, it states the benefits of your book. The benefit that the readers will get when they read your book could be found in your subtitle. Now, let's take an example of some books with subtitles that give the benefit of the book. For example, The Tipping Point is a book by Malcolm Gladwell. It says how little things can make a big difference. So you already know the benefits you will get from this book. That when you read this book, you will be able to tell the difference between little things that are very important and maybe some other things that are not important. So you could tell the benefit you will get from the book. Or the other book, Outliers, says the story of success. So you already know that the book is about what? Success. What will you get when you read Outliers? You will become successful, right? So you could get the title or the benefit of the book from the subtitle. Then the last thing that we need to know about the function of subtitles is that a subtitle clarifies obscure title, which we already said. And when a title is obscured, it is a subtitle that explains that title. Malcolm Gladwell is very good when it comes to using short titles. You see this book, Blink, The Tipping Point, Outlier. These are all books by Malcolm Gladwell. Very short titles, but they are obscure. You don't know what Blink means as a book title. You don't know what The Tipping Point is. You don't know what Outliers is. But from the book, you would see that the subtitles explain, takes away the obscurity of the title. So where are those books? Yeah, Outliers. You don't know what it means, but you could see the subtitle say the story of success. So you know what the book is about. The tipping point, you don't know what it means, but you see how little things can make a big difference. So you know what the book is about. Good. Now let's look at the characteristic of subtitles. Subtitles must be contextual. So we said one of the functions is that they give context to your book. So it must be contextual. 2, it must be attractive. 3, it must be searchable. 4, it should be easy to read and say. And 5, it should be short and specific. So I told you before that the subtitle, I give an example of the subtitle that is long, right? Now, if the subtitle is long, don't worry about trying to remember it, okay? But it is best to have short subtitles that are straight to the point. They are specific, okay? They tell you exactly what the book is about, okay? So try as much as possible to have subtitles that are short, like the one we saw from the Outliers. The Outliers, it says the story of success. Very short subtitle. And then this one says how little things can make a big difference. Not too short, but straight to the point. It is specific. It gives you exactly what the book is about. Let's look at some other books and see the subtitles. For example, my book says success is short for those who never give up. So it is specific. You know, the content was reviewed specifically and the subtitle. Eat That Frog, 21 Great Ways to Stop Procrastinating and Get More Done in Less Time. Well, it's quite long, but it goes straight to the point. It is specific. It tells you, you know, what the book is about. You know, remember we say that the subtitle is supposed to tell you your target audience. So that is what it means by specific. If your book is for everybody, well, I doubt if you can really write a book that is for everybody. Your book must be targeted at specific a specific audience. So it is a subtitle that brings that specificity to your book. Because now, from Eat That Frog, we could see that this subtitle is specifically for people. This book is for people who procrastinate and who want to stop procrastinating. So instead of just leaving Eat That Frog and leaving it obscure without telling us who the book is for, the subtitle now made it specific that this book is for people who procrastinate. So your subtitles should bring specificity to your book. Okay, good. So now we know what book titles are and what subtitles are. Now it is your turn to create your book title and subtitle. What title will you choose for your book? Will you say it doesn't matter because books are not judged by their cover, or you will follow the rules of getting the right book title? You know, a book title that is short, easy to say, easy to remember, easily searchable, not used by somebody else, and that is informative. I will be looking forward to hearing your book title. Just apply the rules that you've learned from this video, the rules for titles and the rules for subtitles, and get a book title for your book. Remember, remember that as you create your book titles, one, you must remember to write down the problem that your book is going to solve. Don't just create a book title without knowing what problem will this book solve. Everybody that is looking for a non-fiction book is looking to solve one problem or the other. Maybe they want to learn how to make more money. They want to learn how to harness time properly. want to learn how to overcome laziness or something. So you need to know what problem your book is going to solve. That will help you to get a better title. Again, you must create a subtitle, that clarifies the content of the book. Because we said before that the subtitle clarifies, an obscure title. So remember that your book title should have a subtitle that will clarify the content of the book, and then make sure that you make it memorable and make sure it is genre appropriate. You must know what genre you're writing. Are you writing nonfiction? Are you writing drama? Are you writing poetry? And are you writing fiction? You need to know that while you're choosing your book title. And then make sure that your book title is created to stay intrigued. Make it fascinating. Make it look like how to satisfy a woman, and have her beg for more. Let your title be that intriguing, okay? And then identify your target audience before you get a title for your book. And then you could seek the opinion of others. Normally, I advise, new authors to at least write 3 to 4, titles that they want for their books. And then you could, meet some friends and ask them which of these book titles do you think is short, easy to remember, easy to say, can be memorized and all of that. And then you could choose from that and you will be able to come up with a great book title. So I believe that you will be able to write your own book title, a great book title, at the end of this class when you are ready to title your book. So right now, I'm going to stop this presentation here, and if you have any question about this presentation, or you learned something from this presentation, please feel free to write in the comment section under the video. Share your thoughts. What do you think you learned from this book, or what suggestions do you have to make better presentations in the future. Now I'm going to continue the part 2 of this presentation, where I would be talking about how to write book synopsis. Don't miss the next video. I believe that you will learn so much from it. Okay, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. By the way, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe so that the next time I post, a video about authors and publishing, you will be among the first people to get notified and watch that video. So thank you so much. I'll see you soon again. Bye.